And it is an immense honour and pleasure to stand here today in this position. It's not a position that I expected to be in some weeks ago. However, things can change quite radically. I first of all want to say thanks to Almighty God for giving me the health and strength to do this, because I had my own challenges earlier this year. I want to pay particular tribute to my wife and to my family for the support that they have been, not just over the course of the last number of weeks, but over the course of my over 20 years in politics. And I also want to pay particular tribute to my election team, who have worked fantastically well and have been on call virtually 24 hours a day, worked around the clock to help secure this victory. I'm looking forward to a positive relationship right across Northern Ireland with my party colleagues and indeed with people from other parties. I think that the opportunities for Northern Ireland are great. The opportunities for us to make Northern Ireland a great place after this 100 years has passed and we move into a new 100 years are immense. We have had great people in Northern Ireland over those years, but the greatest thing in Northern Ireland is the resilience of all of its people. And from its outset, it's had its trials. In the 1920s, there was civil war. In the 1930s, we had a depression. In the 1940s, there was a war. In the 1950s, there was another insurrection by the IRA. That started again in the late 60s and worked its way right through to 1994. And throughout all of that, our people has shown remarkable resilience. And it's that resilience that we are going to go forward and make Northern Ireland a great place. My father was a founder member of the DUP some 50 years ago, and I joined it after the death of the Reverend Robert Bradford MP in 1981. And throughout all of that period, this party has been the authentic voice of unionism and will continue to be the authentic voice of unionism under my leadership. The opportunities are great. We want to ensure that for young people, there is good jobs available in Northern Ireland. Educationally, we tackle the issues where young people from more deprived backgrounds get greater opportunity. We want to increase our university places. There is so much to do. We have work to do in our health service, which is greatly challenged at this time, with waiting lists which are horrendous anywhere in the United Kingdom. So there's much to do, there's much to be done, and I stand here today very proud to be taking up the mantle as leader of the Democratic Unionist Party, and that brings with it a responsibility to all of unionism. I want to say this very clearly. I will be a leader in unionism who will be reaching out to other leaders in unionism. I want to see unionism working together. The Northern Ireland Protocol has proven to be a massive challenge for us. And if we are to fight this, to ensure that everybody in Northern Ireland is not worse off as a consequence of the protocol, then it's for us to do that together. And I want to ensure that that is the case, that we don't have the unionist bickering that we've had in the past, and I will encourage all unionists to work with me to deliver an end which ensures we set the foundations in this 2021 for another 100 years of Northern Ireland within the United Kingdom. Thank you.
The new leader of the Democratic Unionist Party in Northern Ireland. It couldn't be closer, could it? David Blevins was telling us it was on a knife edge, this vote. And Edwin Poots, the Agriculture Minister, got 19 votes. Sir Geoffrey Donaldson, the other contender, got 17 there. So 36 members of the party's Electoral College voting. You can see there David Blevins for us, our senior Ireland correspondent. So this was close, but we know now who has edged it.
Yes, they came remarkably close to a tie, which would have required the party to conduct the entire leadership contest all over again. But I think we can say two things as a result of what we've just heard in the last few minutes. One, the DUP is an almost equally divided party between the pragmatic wing, its representative in this contest being Sir Geoffrey Donaldson, and the ideological wing, its representative, the victorious candidate, Edwin Poots, Northern Ireland's Agriculture Minister. He has a great job of work ahead of him if he's going to try to reunite Northern Ireland's largest party, the Democratic Unionists, without further dividing the power-sharing government here at Stormont, which is already wobbling as a result of difficulties around the Northern Ireland Protocol, that Brexit border in the Irish Sea. I think the other thing that we have to make very clear is that this marks a seismic shift for the Democratic Unionist Party. It is an example of the grassroots of the party taking back control, if you like, from those who've been the top brass for the last decade. One of the complaints that led to the internal revolt against Arlene Foster was the fact that those who serve here in the Northern Ireland Assembly felt there was a disconnect between them to some degree and those in the leadership of the party and those who sit in Westminster for the party. But many people will be very, very surprised that Sir Geoffrey Donaldson, a man who's been an MP for 24 years, who currently leads the party's Westminster team, and in his role as Chief Whip there formerly was the man who negotiated that £1 billion confidence and supply deal with the Tories back in 2017, has not been victorious. Edwin Poots, Northern Ireland's Agriculture Minister, a man who's held many different portfolios here at Stormont, has just edged it, but he absolutely represents that more ideological, more traditional, more religious wing of the DUP, and has in the past courted controversy because of his strongly held views on issues like evolution and homosexuality.